Time for Marketplace.
An inside look at trying to recover from a fire.
Marketplace Morning Report is supported by Glassdoor. Adam Grant has joined the Glassdoor community with expert advice on finding a job and making the most of work life. Learn more at glassdoor.com. And by Schwab. Schwab offers investors choices like full-service wealth management, self-directed investing options, and trading on Thinkorswim. More at schwab.com.
From Marketplace, I'm Sabri Benishore, in for David Brancaccio. First, an update on AI. After their stocks took a whooping, big tech companies have responded to worries around their competitiveness after Chinese AI startup DeepSeek made major AI advances for a fraction of what U.S. companies have invested. Marketplace's Nova Safo has more.
The message from chief executives of Microsoft and Meta, yes, DeepSeek did come up with some efficiency innovations, but that's not necessarily a surprise, says Microsoft's Satya Nadella.
We ourselves have been seeing significant efficiency gains in both training and inference for years now.
Training and inference are two types of AI computations. Experts are undecided on all of DeepSeek's claims, but Wall Street is still wondering if AI is getting cheaper. Do we really need to spend so much money on new computer farms? Meta's Mark Zuckerberg says yes, the big players have to.
We're just serving billions of people, which is different from, okay, you start to pre-train a model and that model is sort of agnostic to how many people are using it.
In short, DeepSeek and Meta are apples and oranges. Wall Street analysts, though, remain skeptical. I'm Nova Safo for Marketplace.
The U.S. economy grew at an annualized rate of 2.3% in the fourth quarter of last year. That is less than expected in a slowdown. Let's do the numbers. The Dow futures are down 0.2%. S&P futures are up 0.2%. NASDAQ futures up 0.4%. The yield on the 10-year Treasury is 4.507%.
Marketplace Morning Report is supported by Amazon Business, aiming to help save time by offering smart business buying solutions so there's more time to focus on growing the business and less time doing the admin. More at amazonbusiness.com. And by Rubrik, dedicated to giving businesses the power to bounce back fast when cyber attacks target the cloud. More at Rubrik.com. And by Affinity, provider of the CRM for the private capital relationship economy. Affinity knows who has the best relationship with the right startup. Affinity.co/marketplace.
The Southern California fires this month destroyed at least 16,000 structures. More than 9,000 of them were lost in and around the town of Altadena, about a half hour northeast of downtown Los Angeles. They were mostly homes, and one of them was my colleague David Brancaccio's. He and Mary Brancaccio had owned the place for just 2 months and 1 day before it was gone. We thought what they are learning through all of this might be useful to others.
Until this moment, we'd only seen photos.
Oh, it's hard to look at.
The footprint of what was an 1,100 square foot 2-bedroom cottage is now a pond of fluffy ash, marshmallow-sized lumps of black char, and a chimney. What's that?
The post box. Oh, the mail inside it burned up. Oh, it's all just ashes. Who knows what it was?
The deed to the house?
Yeah.
The house on the left, the house on the right, also flattened. Now, we get others have it worse. We have some insurance, hopefully. Our kids are all self-sufficient adults living elsewhere. And since we only moved in before Thanksgiving, many irreplaceable things were being boxed for transit, but not here yet. But among the things that were here was a copper flask of water I got from the mouth of the sacred Ganges River while reporting from the Himalayas years ago. We placed it right here. So there was a mantle here over the fireplace. That's all burned up. So what I'm looking for is not going to be here. If we can get the money together, among the many questions keeping me awake is where are we going to find a builder? 16,000 places burned here this month, and I know that replacing them will create enormous new demand up against limited supply for contractors. Then I learned the reality of that business.
Most people are remodelers.
Walid Delawari is a contractor and developer who does know how to build from the ground up and has been sharing what he knows.
Surprisingly, most contractors don't know the new construction side of it or the understanding of how to build with scale.
Scale, meaning someone with the skills to spin the plates on several builds at the same time, because I should rest assured any contractor interested in my modest job will be multitasking.
If they're helping 1 or 2 or 3 people in your neighborhood, making sure that they have the know-how to build that large of a property with that many people.
Delaware had to flee his Altadena home with his wife and kids when he saw the hillside go red. He will rebuild, but even a person of this skill, mortgage broker turned contractor and developer, doesn't know what it'll cost.
I just found out my slab is broken, so I have to pull that out. That price per square footage is going to easily change.
To get a long view from a wildfire survivor, I turned to Jeff Chemnick, who runs a nursery and private garden in Santa Barbara. You know the aloe plant? His place is called Aloes in Wonderland. His house was one of 220 lost in a fire 16 years ago, and he rebuilt something more fire-hardy in what's seen as record time.
2 years, almost to the day.
That stopped me. 2 years is fast. Jeff is a botanist who'd been a contractor, which helped him network for a builder. Again, the goal is good contractor.
Sadly, several of our friends sort of fell for the smoke and mirrors of contractors from out of town that promised new building techniques, cheaper prices. And price is certainly a consideration, but should not be your primary driver.
Did they end up with a house in the end, a deficient house, or did they really get scammed and didn't end up with a house?
Well, one of them, the contractor that he engaged, is in prison.
Meanwhile, back at the property, we need power in so many ways.
I look around and now all I see is all the hard work it's going to take to bring it back. And I'm wondering if I still have it in me to do it, if I'm still young enough to do it.
Who do you blame? The infernal wind? Climate change? Some neighbors are suing the electric company that kept its transmission lines energized near the apparent origin of the fire. Oh, and that copper vessel with the sacred water to bless the house at Thanksgiving? I spot it, covered in carbon, empty but recognizable. I don't see the top, but I see the rest of it here.
We'll have the rest of this story tomorrow. In New York, I'm Sabri Benishore with the Marketplace Morning Report. From 8 p.m., American Public Media.